There we go. All right. It's Friday night. Happy Friday. How you doing? Whoops. Can you hear
Happy
me?
Friday.
I was going to say, can you hear me? Bob, you there?
He said he's having hardware issues in the text.
Looks like you're
Chat.
muted. Don't know if that makes a difference or not. It's one thing that I kind of wish that Teams had was, for like meeting organizers, an unmute button for people. That'd be kind of nice.
That's interesting thought, actually.
Yeah, there's the problem with that, of course, is that, somebody might decide to mute and, be doing something relatively personal, and then somebody could unmute them and it could cause a problem, So I guess I understand why you can't do that, but it's one of those things. So hopefully Bob
Maybe,
will be back.
there'd be like a different way. I mean, there is like a tiny little notification that says your microphone is muted when you're trying to talk and your microphone is muted.
Yes.
So maybe there'd be a different way for us to alert that person or something. I don't know, like somehow maybe flash on our screen that says your microphone is muted, right?
Yes.
So
yeah, actually, I think it does. Under certain circumstances, I think it will say something to that effect. But
right. But what I mean, like, instead of that little notification on his own video screen, which is what you get now, our entire screen would shut off. And you wouldn't see our video anymore. You would just see a big blank screen with text that says, "You're muted." You know what I mean?
Yep. All right. So it was kind of a bizarre day today. Part of the whole, COVID-19 recovery stuff like that. One of our neighbors just got a new job, and so we volunteered to help watch her kid today. My daughter in particular, because my daughter's 16, and taking care of an 18-month-old is kind of, she digs it. So so we had an 18-month-old kicking around the house today, and it was kind of a lot of fun, But it's a little bit like grandparent syndrome, It's like, we get to have them over for the day and spend some time and have fun, and see them take naps, and have a little fit here and there, being a kid, the end of the day they go home, and we get to have a regular night's sleep. So so it's it was a lot of fun. Kid's a pretty good kid, and we're definitely happy to help out and hang out with the kiddo and stuff like that. So it was kind of nice as far as that went.
So what kind of communication can you have with an 18-month-old?
This kid is actually pretty smart for a year and a half. She doesn't speak a lot yet, but she understands a surprising amount of vocabulary, and she communicates a lot with her expressions, her facial expressions. Looks like Bob is back, and looks like Karen is here.
Yeah, I made it.
Hey, and we can hear you this time.
I don't know what was wrong, but...
Hey, Karen.
Hello.
Now, can Karen hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, cool. and we can see you. Very
Yes.
cool. Yeah, I was just talking about how we babysat a neighbor's 18-month-old today.
I saw that.
Yeah, so it was pretty cute, and we were just chuckling a little bit about the whole grandparent syndrome, because it's like we raised ours, we know what it's like to have them 24/7 for years on end and all that stuff, but our two are teenagers now, and they can actually help, which basically our daughter especially did, and the other fun part about that, relatively speaking, is like the whole grandparent syndrome. At the end of the day, we kind of hand her back off to her folks, and we get a good night's sleep. So, so, but it was a lot of fun.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, we gotcha.
All right.
So I just put a image in the chat, Jim, since I can't, as a guest, change my background. But if there was a way for me to change my background from balloons to that image that I just sent in the chat window, that would be a way to alert other people. Rather than have an unmute button like you wish you could have. This is a way to change your entire screen, take you off your own screen, and then.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I actually have that. I know you guys at home can't see it, but the people who are seeing my screen on LinkedIn and YouTube are seeing exactly that. You're muted, so that's actually really simple and good idea. Just have a button that just tells them somehow that in bigger letters, we can't hear you. So so how's everybody doing today?
Pretty good. We had our summer outing. Like every year, our company does a summer outing, but given the situation, each team decided what they wanted to do, and we did a virtual thing. We got Grubhub delivered to us and played Who Wants to Be a Millionaire online.
Very cool.
How'd the Grubhub thing work out? Because that's one of the things that we're talking about for Granite State Code Camp. Right, Jim?
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends on how things work out with the like sponsorship and all that fun stuff. So
yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, you just order and it comes, and obviously there's an expense involved. Because I think the drivers probably work for mostly tips, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's convenient.
Yeah. So it's an interesting idea. That actually reminds me too. I got an interesting email from one of our sponsors for Granite State Code Camp today, which basically lit a fire under me a little bit. The Granite State Code Camp website is kind of a confusing mix of schedule and speaker content and stuff like that from 2019 with a look ahead at 2020. And it still shows our venue for 2019 and like the 30 or 40 speakers that we had last year and the schedule that we had and all of our sponsors and all that stuff. So our principal sponsor, who was very happy to be a forerunner in the sponsorship and all that stuff, sent me an email saying, "Hey, I just went to the site and it looks like everything's practically all set. What's going on?" I thought we were going to be part of the organization here, and so it was kind of funny. It was like, yeah, that's from last year, and I'm gonna clean that out this weekend. So, so
I
yeah.
imagine they weren't very happy.
I'm sorry. What's up? Yeah, it was just a little confusing. It's I had to apologize for the fact that it's as confusing as it is, but it still feels like most of 3 months out that well, September, October, we're 2.5 months. We're less than 90 days now, which actually kind of blows my mind. So we've definitely got to get cracking with the website and get that settled out. The one of the hard parts is the website is still hosted by Roman in one of his Azure tenants, and so not only do I have to get the content of the website sorted out, I've also got to make sure I've got the hosting sorted out. Because I don't know if he's going to be participating going forward. So hope he does. Still invited. Definitely don't want to exclude anybody, but he hasn't been around, so I'm not going to make any assumptions that he intends to be at this point. So, but Roman, if you're listening,
You're frozen.
What's that? Oh, I think you went quiet there for a moment.
Right, Roman hasn't. He's been pretty busy with Google and his own little Google thing.
Yeah.
He's been doing.
The Lawrence.
I haven't.
Was it the Google Lawrence group or something like that? I want to say it's like either GLG or LGL.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I know he's been pretty busy with that. I also haven't seen Carl involved in this, so I definitely appreciate the participation. I know they're busy, and I know this is a really hard thing to commit to participating in, but I do hope they jump in at some point. We'll definitely welcome them if they do, and we'll just keep going otherwise. So. But that's how it is, And like I say, we'll get things sorted out with that website over the weekend, one way or another. So fun stuff. So I didn't mean to run away with that. You started to tell us about your company outing.
Oh well, there's not much to tell. I mean,
What's the do?
Karen, you're something's a little bit up with
Yeah,
your
I
feed.
muted
I think.
Karen. Sorry, Karen. We're meeting you. You're gonna have to go stand next to your Wi-Fi router or something. Sorry.
Yeah.
Are you back on Verizon?
You keep freezing up, and your audio is it only comes through in reminds me of a Pink Floyd tune. You're only coming through in waves here.
Yeah, I'm on the like Verizon lot. I somehow got on my Verizon. Don't know how
Karen,
that
your
happened.
lips move, but I can't hear what you're saying.
Yeah, you know that tune.
Reminds me of the dubbed black and white movies of the 30s. Hi, guys.
Hey, Marie, how you doing?
Good.
There we go. It's better.
The video quality is still a little rough too, which is kind of a giveaway. But maybe. We heard you
Yeah.
say, we heard you ask if this was better, so that's better.
Yes.
Hey. So oh yeah, your video is getting much clearer now too. That's a good sign, Karen.
Yes, everyone else is looking better too.
The lampshade on top of your head is coming in clear.
This couch is just so comfortable. You don't believe how I got it.
Is this a story you're...
Someone was actually throwing it out.
Yeah,
Oh.
Don't forget you're online live. You can't tell anything where you broke the law or...
Yep, that's right.
Nope. They were throwing it out. They were throwing it out. They were putting it on the curb.
Oh wow.
They gave it. Yeah, they said, and I said, I asked them if I could have it, and they said they helped me load it in the back of my El Camino. I was driving the El Camino at that time. That was back 2003 or 2004.
Ah.
Wow.
That's
So
good.
he doesn't owe you anything.
Doing you well since then, huh?
The couch?
Yep.
Yeah, I did buy a cover for it because it's kind of an ugly color. I don't like the color, but it doesn't go with my decor. But
That's
other than
what
that,
slip
it's
covers
fine.
are for.
Hmm?
That's what slip covers are for.
Yes, but for the cost, I can't complain.
So do you take a crack at? Oh no, you're not gonna try getting into the Toshiba laptop at this point.
I tried yesterday. I was going to look through the that site that Marie gave me, but I think I'll have to take it somewhere. But if I don't take it up there, I'll take it somewhere locally.
Gotcha.
Well, as I said, I'm glad to take it and wipe it if you want me to wipe it, or if you just want to pull the drive. Peter said he can get one from the school.
Yeah.
And then we can, give it to somebody who needs one that doesn't have one.
Okay. Well, I dropped off the check for the car today. I should be able to pick it up on Monday. We can talk about it some more on Monday.
Gotcha.
You're going to have to take pictures of it and show us.
Yeah, it's all right.
They treating you all right though?
The car, the new car, I haven't gotten it yet.
No, I mean the dealership.
It seemed to be okay. Yeah. I'm very, of course, naturally very wary of car dealerships.
Very wisely so, I'm sure.
We'll see.
Gotcha. You have any opportunity to dig in on your LinkedIn learning courses or any of that?
No, I've been doing census training.
Ah.
Yeah.
How many hours a week are you going to be doing that? Do they have like a minimum number or?
No. They have a maximum number. Maximum is, well, you can 40 hours, but they're allowing overtime. They're way behind. I don't know what their problem is. Like I said, they waited until now to hire enumerators. I think some enumerators started in last month, but they just hired enumerators.
What's an enumerator do?
They're the ones that go door to door.
Okay.
It's so, and they aren't very considering the job that enumerators have to do. They aren't very proactive about keeping in touch. The field supervisors.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only time they call you is if you mess up your time card. So
Okay.
yeah. So I really can't get too enthused.
It sounds like
About this.
Happened to be out and
much of-
about
oh,
today and
by the way,
saw an enumerator. So
Yeah, they're out there.
yep.
along with the politics people, I thought it was an enumerator at my door. So I answered the door, and it was like, "Oh, yeah, he's down the street." And it's like, well, if you see him, I've already done it. So save himself a door, because they're literally knocking on all the doors on my street, which I can't figure out because most of the people in my neighborhood are computer savvy.
Well, they're doing what they call revisits.
Okay.
They're check, but they're not doing. Everybody is not getting a revisit. I don't know how exactly they decide who gets a revisit and who doesn't.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah,
so that explains
like-
some of the interchange that I heard, from the enumerator today was, oh, you've already been. It's like, oh yeah, well we're just doing a double check, and so
Yeah. So,
but yeah, I guess with the whole COVID-19 thing, that really kind of threw everything for a loop, and the recovery is going to be a little bit of a slog, I guess. I can imagine that without a relatively dynamic infrastructure that throwing something like a quarantine into the works with the census is probably gonna be a challenge at best. So
yes, I did the census 10 years ago. I worked in the office. I did payroll for the enumerators in the Boston office, and well, it's anyway. It's I really don't like this online remote stuff that much. I think the training would go much better with everybody was in a classroom.
Yeah, I think that tends to be a consensus. I know there's an awful lot of people who are really looking forward to getting back to reality as far as a lot of that goes. And I get it. There's a place and a time for doing things online, and then there's Zoom burnout, and I'm hearing that's becoming a pretty significant issue for a lot of people. So
Yes. Well, this training was not even Zoom. You didn't even talk to anybody. It was all videos.
yeah.
You had to follow. You had to figure out for yourself, what you were going, what your next step was. If you made a mistake, you guys said, "You did this too long. I'm gonna cut you." It's only supposed to be 4 hours, and you took 5 hours.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. I understand. It's bad enough at 4 hours, but it's like if you're gonna take a break, you gotta take a break. Come on.
Yeah, you're not supposed to count your breaks in the time. You're supposed to. Yeah, when you take a break, you're supposed to log off and log back on.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Well.
So, like I said, she can. I get. if I have a feeling if I work more than 4 hours, she won't be able to count all my hours. So I'm just going to work 4 hours a day. Like the old
Yeah.
to March, one of the cadences would be up 2, 3, 4. You can't count to 5.
Well, that's a little bit rough if you're an enumerator.
No, she's a field supervisor. She's doing my payroll.
Oh, okay.
So, no wonder why they can't keep enumerators.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
little
they're
bit.
not getting paid.
What?
I said if they're not getting paid the way they should be.
Even yeah. So the rate is good, but they really cut. Really picking about the hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, part of that I'm sure comes from people who are not necessarily fully honest. I
Yeah.
mean, you and I would be honest, but I know there are people out there who would be like, oh, well, that was 2 hours and 15 minutes instead of 2 hours. So,
Well, yeah.
but if you're doing an online training, I would be surprised if they didn't have a way to record that you were actually online during that time.
Oh, they know. I can tell by how much battery that iPhone is sucking up.
That's funny.
Uh,
So
I'm kind of
anybody
sick.
got any break plans?
Any
What kind of plans?
Break plans this weekend.
Oh.
update the
I'm going to sit
website?
home and read a book.
Smoking a pork butt.
Ah,
I'm gonna smoke a pork butt on Sunday.
Sorry, that just sounds terrible.
It does. But that's what it is. So.
But yep.
that'll be
yeah,
nice.
it's funny how those of us.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Marie.
No, I'm sorry too, because we started the same time, and I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say that, those of us who have been around smoking something, I think cigarettes.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what a bud is. I mean, to a lot of people. But
Exactly.
so this is like. Okay. I'll leave it alone.
Get us all laughing, Jim.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's what we do around here is, giggle about smoking pork butts. That's awesome though.
For supper.
That is very cool. You got a special occasion going for that, or?
No, just got a couple in the freezer. Just gonna use one of them. So.
Gotcha.
Now,
Marie,
do you have to defrost it when you do that, or do you? Sorry, say it again.
Oh, you defrost it, yeah. It's actually best if it starts out at room temperature.
Okay.
yeah, Marie, did you catch the email from Jill Stegner?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I have been offline all day today.
Okay.
So.
How you feeling better, or you're looking better?
I have my up times and my down times.
Gotcha.
So I'm just gonna go with how I feel at the moment. So
sometimes that's
should
the best
I go
thing.
look it up, or can you brief me? Well, actually, I probably should go look it up because this is live and.
Oh, it's okay. I already talked a little bit about it, and it was just a minor confusion that basically they looked at the Granite State Code Camp website and saw all the 2019 information out there and thought it was for 2020. And so it was hey, I thought we were gonna help here, and it looks like you're almost done with this. And it's like, no, you're still the first, and this is all leftover information from last year that I'm gonna fix this weekend. So guess that's my big plans for the weekend. So,
Well, I was going to say what you need to do is put a link to the 2020 on the 2019 page.
well, the hard part is that the website doesn't have a difference right now. It's just one event page that points to whatever the current event is, and so a little bit of it is saying, looking forward to November 14th, 2020, and then there's all this information about the 2019 speakers and the 2019 schedule and the 2019 sponsors and all that stuff that is still untouched from last year. So I definitely understand the confusion. I do feel bad about that, but I've got my excuses. They're just that. They're just terrible excuses. I really should have updated this probably a month or two ago or something like that. But like I say, I've got my excuses. So.
Well, life happens, and sometimes you don't get to things we plan on.
Yeah. I mean, there's a little bit more to it. The concern that I had was, whether or not we were even actually going to go forward with it. Were we going to have any part of it be at the school? There were lots of relative unknowns until about 2 weeks. Well, actually, only about a week ago at this point. We really only committed to roll out with the virtual plan literally a week ago today, officially. I mean, we kind of we knew we were going with that a little bit earlier, but we only really dug in and said, yes, this is happening. Yes, we're doing it, and this is how it's going to be. To the limited extent that we can still. So, still lots of stuff up in the air, lots of decisions to make, and looking forward to getting those done. But the website is very confusing right now, so. I've definitely got to do something about that. So,
I just pulled it up, and when she emailed, I was taking a nap.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, definitely understand. But other than that, I've been kind of holding back a little bit because I know Joe had something he wanted to show us. And I wanted to reserve a little bit of time for that. Joe, do you still have that topic you mentioned on LinkedIn?
Oh yeah, right. So, well, today I made a post on LinkedIn, and what happened was just during the normal course of my day going through email, I received an email at about, I think it was 2 o'clock, and I could kind of tell right away the email was suspicious, and I'm, 100% sure this email is a phishing attempt.
Yeah.
So I think everybody knows what phishing is, but basically phishing is kind of when you are sent an email by a bad actor, let's say, and that bad actor is trying to get you to click a link within the email, and the purpose of getting you to click that link is so that the bad actor can collect private or personal information from you, or passwords or account information, whatever, basically the email looks like it's legitimate, and well, this one didn't really, I guess, but other than the fact that it said Office 365, but the email I got today in the subject line said something to the effect of I need to change my password. And I think just kind of right away, that's kind of setting off alarm bells in my head. Like, well, if this is legitimate, then that means that somebody's perhaps been trying to access my account, and I do need to change my password for real. So sometimes you do get an alert like that. But in this case, I could kind of tell right away that this wasn't coming from Microsoft. And even though it said, it had kind of in big orange letters, the text Office 365 right in the dead center of the email. The from address was from an address somewhere in Japan. It had a .jp domain. So that was kind of one of the first things I noticed about the email that kind of made it seem illegitimate, was the fact that it was coming from an address in Japan, and the address did not seem recognizable at all. And the email content said something along the fact of click here to keep your current password, which was kind of a strange thing to request from a user. You don't really have to take action to keep your current password in most cases, I would say. You kind of just keep your password and don't change anything. If you do get a link from the from a legitimate source, like from Microsoft, if you get a link, then usually it would say click here to change your password. So that was kind of another thing that stood out. But when I hovered over the link in the email, I noticed in the status bar of the browser, the link that said click here to keep your password was for a domain that was totally unrecognizable and nothing I'd ever seen before. It wasn't a Microsoft.com domain or anything like that. So there were just kind of, red flags everywhere in the email that makes it, extremely suspicious. And I think if, for a person like me, I manage my own domains and I manage the accounts. I'm the admin for my tenant. So I have a lot more access, and probably a lot more experience than most people with accounts and resetting passwords and the processes that you should look for when you are resetting an account. So if you ever do see like an email that looks suspicious, of course, ask your admin or ask whoever is managing your account if it does seem suspicious. And I know a lot of companies these days, they sort of ask you to report any attempts of phishing on your account and things like that. So, I don't know what else, as my own admin, I don't know what else I could do in this case other than just not click the email and maybe share it on LinkedIn.
So thank you. That's very
Yes.
cool. I gotta tell you, I have to chuckle because these things, these phishing emails show up once in a while, and for the longest time I was a good boy and just ignored them, and then I decided to start having fun with them. So what I have a terrible tendency to do now is when I get phishing emails, and it's actually kind of evolving. I have this little fantasy about setting up a honeypot. Basically creating some sort of place where I go out there and I provide them some credentials to something other than a legitimate resource and allow them to log in and see how bad it gets.
Is it like vigilante style?
Yeah. So for a while, I went through a phase where, because I didn't really have time to do that, I would just, basically bring up a virtual machine set up as a sandbox so that, I couldn't do anything, nothing could be altered in any particular way. It wouldn't be able to get out of the virtual machine's scope or any of that stuff. Actually, Windows 10 has this really cool feature called Windows Sandbox, and it's meant for these kinds of like risky features and interactivities that you might do that could screw up your computer if you do it in a real environment. Here, I can show you real quick. So
I'm trying to get on right now. Windows Sandbox.
yeah, so can you guys see? Oops, that's coming up on my other screen. So pardon me just a second. I'm trying to get it to show up on the display I'm sharing, but it's taking a moment. So Windows Sandbox is basically a virtual machine that every time you shut it off, it just resets back to what it was. And this is literally booting right now. And okay, so you can see it's a full Windows 10 install with base stuff on it. So I'll go into the sandbox and I'll paste in the link that they want me to click and start hacking away at it and giving them information. Of course, it's totally not legit, but I'll either do one of a few different things. I'll either give them something that's bogus or something that has a few choice words in it. And I also went through a phase where I encouraged them to find Jesus, and and basically had fun with it. I once in a while still do that, but like I say, someday I would like to set up some kind of little honeypot of some sort for stuff like that to log into. But it is kind of cool showing off this sandbox feature for the purpose, though it has a very limited set of things pre-installed in it, like the old Microsoft Edge rather than the new one, and very few actual apps, no access to the App Store. But like I say, the nice part about it is that I can hack this sandbox all up. I can literally destroy it, and as soon as I shut it down, I can start it back up again. It'll be right back here where it's at now. So it's a really neat feature and very useful for protecting yourself against potential bogusness and mayhem.
So I got a phone call, like a phishing phone call at work once. So I was doing this Agile DevOps conference online. Actually, it hadn't gone online yet. It was supposed to be in Las Vegas, and they were providing the hotel room and the flight and everything. And I got a phone call, and this guy was saying that he was going to help me book my room. So they were looking at the speaker list for this conference and finding the people and contacting them by phone. And they went through this whole thing, and they gave me this web page where I had to go and fill in all my credit card information and stuff. And I'm like, no way, buddy. But I mean, that's very creative, right? To go to a conference website and get a list of the speakers and go and fish them
Jeez, yeah. It's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple of them where, oh, well, your computer's going to lock up in 48 hours. It's like, fine, I'll just get a new one.
I so totally want one of
Well, you
those.
want anyway, give me an excuse.
I really want one of those calls where they call up and say your computer's going to have a problem, or something like that. It's gonna there's a problem. We're aware of an issue, and I'll be like, sure, which one?
Yeah, exactly.
Just tell them, hey, I use Windows. My computer locks up all the time.
No.
Well,
Yeah, that's the other one I give them is, yeah, that's a known issue.
Yeah.
So what?
I get phishing emails all the time.
Yeah.
Mostly for my Apple account. I owe them money on my Apple account.
Oh.
I get at least one of those a week. Same with my PayPal account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really funny because I don't have a PayPal or an Apple account, so.
I have both.
So. Yeah. Yeah, but the other thing I like to play with them too when they call, because like you guys, I have multiple computers, and they always say, well, your computer's infected. Which one? Well, the one that has this. Yep. Okay.
That narrows it down
I
to.
bet mine had that.
That
System,
narrows it down to
so
5.
which one? You can tell me which one. I'll believe you're real. Otherwise,
Yep.
See, I don't even answer the phone. So
it depends on my mood.
See, that's my problem
I'm
is that
never
I
in the
never
mood
answer
to
the
talk
phone
to
for
these
anybody,
people.
so it's hard to get scammed by these guys when I never answer the phone. But
if I don't know the name or the company that pops up on the screen, I won't answer the phone. Can leave a voicemail.
yep, I totally love the ones that.
My phone number in your phone, Karen.
I,
Of course, I'm not going to give it to you on the open mic, so.
Yeah, you can call me and leave a voicemail. I'll call you back.
Okay, so you will talk to me after all.
Yeah.
I totally love the ones with the caller ID that comes up with stuff like scam or spam. Yeah, there's they say scam sometimes, or they say scam risk, or they'll say do not answer. I've seen that one. I've actually got photos of my phone showing me that on the caller ID, and it's like, you know what, I think I'm gonna take that advice this time. So
Probably a wise thing.
yep. So
Well, yeah. Netflix is lately. I've been getting emails about owing money on my Netflix account. I don't have a Netflix account.
oh jeez. I think I've seen those once or twice. They want you to log in and pay up, reactivate your subscription. And,
Yeah.
If I had had time, I would have messed with them, but I didn't have time. So.
I get tons of those in my spam folder. It's kind of entertaining to go and look at what's in there once in a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably go through that too. Yeah. So. Yeah, so that's definitely kind of a fun topic for me. It's a little bit of a my little bit of reverse hacking, which hopefully has not gotten me in too much trouble in the past, but it's fun. So
I think I will install Windows Sandbox. So.
Yeah, it's a really, really handy thing to have if you want to, protect your identity a little bit more than most stuff would. Or if you download an application and you strongly suspect that it might be something like a Trojan horse or some kind of malware, you can install it in the sandbox and see what it does. And
I also use it when I want to test out an application.
Yeah.
And I don't want to worry about whether it's conflicting with something else.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's another great thing to do. I've used it for checking out VPN access and stuff like that in cases where I didn't want to mess with the VPN configuration on my base machine or something like that too. So so there's no Code and Coda this Sunday.
No, I'm actually working on the Code and Coda website right now. The next episode will be next Sunday if you guys are interested. Me and Eric are ready to go for next Sunday, so if you guys, will be around, then we're there.
Very cool. I'm always happy to catch it. So if you're there, as long as I haven't goofed, which so far I've only done once.
No, we've been actually meeting a couple times this week to talk about the next episode and some more things we want to try, and so we're definitely looking forward to it. September 6th.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You do know that's Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I was asking, as long as you guys were going to be there.
Yeah.
There's no reason I can't be there.
It is the day that we're planning on having my son's birthday party, but I think everybody will be done and cleared out before then, so I should be able to. In fact, actually, even if they're not, I'll still bring it up and let people watch it. But
Sweet.
So, that's not a problem. I mean, people will be like, "Hey, what's this stuff going on here?" Gabe, how you doing?
Hi, Gabe.
Can't hear you.
Hi, Gabe.
Looks like there's a little bit of a mic issue there. Been wondering how you're doing with school starting and all that stuff. I noticed the background's a little different there, so. Whoop. Changing cameras, I guess? Nope. Popped offline. So we're still missing Andreas, and Paul didn't join us this week. I hope everything's okay with him. And always happy to see other people when they pop in too. So feel free if you're watching this at some later point and catching what we're talking about now. Of course we do these Granite State Code Review Nightlies every weeknight at 9 p.m. ever since we started social distancing, and this was only supposed to be a couple of weeks just to flatten the curve and get us through that. Kind of reminds me of the Facebook post that came up recently. I was there 3,000 years ago when they said 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and so here we are still going, but we have a lot of fun with these. Sometimes we even actually talk a lot more about code, and anytime you want to pop in, you can find us on the meetup.com site, looking up Granite State Code Review Nightly and that sort of thing. But
We don't talk politics here or how stupid the president is, and that's why in 3,000 years we'll still be talking about coronavirus. We don't talk about
So we don't talk about the fact that the president is currently in the Granite State right now as we speak, but you know.
So,
So I have a feeling this event is going to be a rain out.
Yeah, I think.
no, they moved it in one of the hangars. I
Oh.
heard from
Are
my
they
son up in Portland, Maine, who has a friend who was going to it.
are they even? I thought it was today actually, but that's how much I pay attention. It's right up the road from me, but I'm not paying that much attention. It's only interesting in passing because it doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on. You know, having the president of the United States down the road is kind of interesting. So,
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
maybe interesting in the ancient curse sense, but
Well, the other thing about it is knowing that that's going on. There are certain areas you just don't want to be driving through because of the changes in routes and.
Yep, yeah, just to avoid the traffic. Yeah, again, you get your sounds like you got your mic fixed. There you go.
Hey, reboot fixed it.
I had to
Gotcha.
reboot too.
Ah,
Been there, done that.
I had to reboot too.
ah. Say something's going around.
There was an update last night.
Ah,
So
Gabe, how's school treating you?
It hasn't started yet.
Oh,
We're
okay.
I got here on Sunday, but classes don't start till Monday.
Gotcha.
So everyone's being phased in right now. I know so far we only have one case on campus, so we're doing okay.
good.
Just one.
Only one.
Yeah.
Well, one positive test.
Yeah.
One positive test.
Does that mean a case? Who
Are you
knows?
getting tested regularly?
I've been tested twice so far since being on campus.
Wow.
So yeah, we're being tested very, very, very
And that is not pleasant either.
No.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. But
It's like, no, don't make me do it again.
There are definitely easier ways that could be done.
Yeah, I thought they had a saliva test going.
They do, but it's not approved yet. So
the
Yeah.
ones they're having us do is just like not too deep, so it's not as bad.
I hear most people who have had it describe it as like, kind of like going to like a pool, like, and having chlorine up your nose like all day afterwards. Ugh. That's rough.
so
Yeah.
it's kind of like the old strep throat test, from what I understand.
Oh, yeah. They have to dab the tonsils with, a swab, or I guess they still do that. I don't know.
They used to go way up in the back of your throat.
Oh, okay. And try to tickle
Now-
your brain. It's like, no, don't like scrape out my brains here. I need those.
The little that I have, I want to keep.
So, so you up to anything code-wise?
I got a robot to play with for WPI Lab. So like I actually have a physical robot now, not just a virtual robot.
Oh, cool.
Prove
Nice.
that the simulation's working.
The simulation's working well?
I haven't got the physical robot working, so I have no idea.
All right.
I'll go in a couple days.
Yep. Very cool. That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
So I'd
So
love to catch up more on that. Give us a little demo of it if you can. So that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. I can try to do that on Monday.
Cool.
that would be awesome.
Yeah, something to look forward to. All right. Well, we're pushing a little bit past time, so I'll say if anybody's got anything else they want to bring up before we call it a night. Last call.
Nope.
All
Have
right.
a great weekend, guys.
All right. You too.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming and being a part of it. We'll catch you Monday.
All right. See you
Thank
next
you,
time.
Dave.
All right. Good night. Take care.